Today's episode of the Just Keep Swimming podcast is brought to you by Audible. Audible is an online audiobook and podcast service offering over 10,000 books and the ability to listen to your favorite podcasts, including the Just Keep Swimming podcast. I personally use Audible all the time and suggest you take a listen to Intentional Living by John C. Maxwell. In this book, Mr. Maxwell shares his story on how he was able to live a noble and purposeful life and gives you tips and tricks so you can do the same. So please start your 30-day free trial now at www.audibletrial.com/JKS podcast, all lowercase. Again, that is www.audibletrial.com/JKS podcast. And if you have any more questions or concerns for the Just Keep Swimming podcast, you're always welcome to reach out to us on Facebook or at Instagram at justkeepswimming_podcast, or you can email us at jkspodcast702@gmail.com. And with that out the way, let's dive into it. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome to the Just Keep Swimming podcast. This is your friend, your boy, your host, Mr. Adrian Jackson, and we're back at it again with another great episode for you, and you already know who's with me. It's the man, the myth, the legend. It's Mr. 13, dropping hot beats for the city as always, so please make sure you guys check out his latest projects, and I just want to give a very special shout out to all the fathers out there. Happy belated Father's Day. Hope you guys enjoy the day with your family, with your loved ones. Got to feel celebrated like you deserve to be. And thank you for being an amazing father in this world and doing your duty, because we need males in this world that's going to be good examples all the time. So with that being said, I have a kind of simple episode for you guys. Well, it seems simple, but it's not as simple as it's going to sound. But today I kind of want to talk about the power of the environment and what are you letting into your environment. So the past few weeks, I've been working this program with UNLV where we had a lot of students come to the school, and it's been really cool. It's been good seeing the kids be able to get the experience of college. Definitely about to go into their senior year, so they kind of know what to expect and kind of can prep for it and won't be, super shocked when they do make it to college and have to get into the dorm life. But one thing I was noticing is, with all these kids meeting new kids and new kids from new environments, new backgrounds, different mindsets, you start to see that some of the kids start to truly change who they are, trying to fit in with the other kids. And then you start to see that the kids seem kind of confused because they don't know who they are or what to do. And that kind of really just set in deep with me, because I felt the effects as well out there working with a lot of new co-workers, people that I usually don't rub elbows with all the time. And, it was fun. It was fun learning, meeting my co-workers, learning more about them. But there are also times that when, people started complaining or, some issues occurred and, people found things being unfair or, aggravating, that, people share their aggravations. And when they start to share their aggravations, I start to listen to them. And then next thing I know, I find myself sharing aggravations and feeling aggravated and feeling irritated and wanting to complain just like they were. And then I know one day I actually came home at night and I sat down and I was like, why do I feel like this? Because, I like what I do. I had a great day with the kids, but I always let these little aggravations just seep in and consume me. And I was trying to figure out why. But then I started to sit back and think, it was like, well, I'll sit down and I'll have lunch with one of these people, and the whole time we're eating, they're complaining. Or, I'll be walking to class with this person wants to complain about this or that, or whatever the case may be. Or sometimes you sit back and talk with the kids and the kids start complaining and they want to hear this, that, or third. And, instead of me just, letting it go through one ear and out the other, I'll indulge in it, and I'll start to complain with them, and I'll start to try to, make their complaining make sense if that's the case. And then I start to find myself with that dark mindset because I'm letting in that negative complaining, and I felt like a lot of the kids probably felt the same way, they were sitting there, they were cool, they were there for the experience, but then they started to hear other kids complaining, and then they started complaining because, others were complaining, and it set in. So, I hope that made sense, but I guess the message where I'm going with this is what are you letting into your system? What is being stuck into your mind that is coming from your environment, not from yourself? And is your environment changing you from who you are? And because I kind of felt like that this weekend, I found myself really looking for reasons to be irritated instead of reasons to be happy, and that's not me. I'm one to always looking for the positive aspect, the positive reasons. And I found that the more I was hanging out with these people, even though it was forced, I couldn't avoid it, they were starting to rub off on me. And I felt that really rubbing off, and now it's kind of like I'm messing up my view of this amazing position because I'm starting to let people who don't appreciate the position like I do get off on me. So I had to really figure out and like, let me step back and let me start to change the narrative a little bit and understand that even though they are complaining, it doesn't mean I have to indulge in it. It doesn't mean I have to sit there and listen and take it in and believe everything they're saying, because at the end of the day, 9 out of 10 times, complaining comes from a person's perception. A lot of complaining comes from your point of view, and that maybe not be the true reason why things are happening or the way things are flowing. Or this person could be the reason things aren't flowing this much because they are complaining and they're trying to bring you over to the team. Whatever the case may be, we have to really start to sit back and figure out, how is this affecting us? How is this rubbing off on me? If I listen to, a whole bunch of gangster rap music and a whole bunch of violent music, and then I start to wonder why I'm a little more violent and I want to fight, it's because of what I'm letting come into me. What am I letting take play? And it also goes the same way. When I have like times where I'm just listening to like love songs, I actually have a playlist that's just like all jazzy, lovey, make me feel good music. When I listen to that playlist, I feel so much better because I'm letting the positive vibes roll in, and it's helping push all the negative stuff out. So that's kind of my challenge for you guys this week. Let's start to really realize, what are we taking in and how is this affecting us? And then start to realize, is this what we want to take in? Do I want to take in the complaining, the negative mindsets, the feeling of not being flexible, not being able to bend or I'll break? Or do I want to take in positivity, love, peace, happiness? And if that's the case, we have to figure out what type of environment we need to be in to make sure that love, peace, and happiness are always surrounding us. Because if we're forcing ourselves somewhere we don't need to be, all it's going to do is keep giving us energy that we don't need to take on, and that energy is going to slow down our purpose and redirect us in ways that we don't need to be. And yes, sometimes, it's good to stir up the fire a little bit, to feel that passion and, understand what's to fight for, what not to fight for. But a lot of times, we're stirring up passion and we're not fighting for anything. We're just stirring up passion to stir it up. And for me, that's like a waste of energy. You're just being angry, upset just to be angry, upset, but you're not trying to find any positive outlook for it. And in my eyes, that's a waste of time. If you're going to be angry, upset, let's find the solution to figure out why we're angry, upset, so we can take away that anger and upsetness. What actions do we have to take? What thoughts do we have to think? What moves do we have to make? But we don't need to keep sitting back and just taking in all this negative energy. So that's my mindset this week. Let's start to look at our environments truly and start to understand what about our environment is making us the way that we are. Are you listening to a whole bunch of negative stuff in the morning? I heard a great story about a guy who was listening to, talk radio in the morning about sports. And they say every day when he got into work, after listening to the talk radio, talk trash, the whole drive in, by the time he gets to work, he's ready to fight. He's really irritated. He's ready to cut somebody out or, give his opinion on everything. And it's like, yo, bro, you're just a cashier. You don't need to feel this way. You know, your job does not require you to have this much energy like that. Like, your job is to take money and move on and wish people a nice day, but you're debating with every single customer that comes in there because you start off your day listening to people debate, fight, and argue. So it's like, all that's going to do is transfer throughout your day. Vice versa. Sometimes, actually the day where this all clicked was a day where I went into work and I actually listened to Joel Osteen in the morning, because I haven't listened to him in a while, and it really brought me peace again. And I was like, yes, I need to make sure I continue to start my day with this, because, you know, I love people to death, but sometimes it's not best for me to be on the phone as I'm heading into work, because I can't get my mind right. I can't get my heart right. I'm stuck in this mindset, and all of a sudden, you know, after I get off the phone, I have whatever this person was talking about stuck in my head, and I have to just go and flow like that never happened. But the problem is, it did happen, and it stuck with me, and I absorbed it all. So I need to figure out how to get it out so I can really be effective in the way I am, because the last thing I want is to walk in with negative energy like other people do. I want to be the person that walks in with that positive mindset, that positive heart, that love, that grace, and just know that everything's going to be okay, and I'm here for a good time, not here for a bad time. So yeah, with all that being said, I hope that resonated with you guys in some way, shape, or form. I hope you guys can try to practice that this week. You know, let's really just start to step back and reflect and start to understand, you know, I was never this angry before, but then something must have caused this. What is causing this? What is constantly going into my system that is making me feel this way? Maybe it's a show. Maybe it's a song. Maybe it's a part of your morning routine, something that you do that you really don't like to do that's making you feel this way. Whatever the case may be, let's start to step back, reflect, and figure out why we're feeling like this, so we can remove that from our environment and replace it with something positive, something motivating, something that's going to make us feel loved and good in the morning, that's going to help us give out that amazing positive energy that this world truly needs. But yes, with all that being said, hope you guys had a great day, a marvelous afternoon, a splendid evening. I hope you chose to be happy, to be loving, to be appreciative. Hope you know that you're strong, you're wise, you're loved, you're amazing, you're blessed, you're honorable, you're a man or child of God, you're a man or woman or God, you're amazing. The world is bending in your favor. Everything's going to be okay. Everything's going to work out the way you want it to be. All you have to do is just keep swimming. Yes, just keep swimming. Hope you have a great day, marvelous afternoon, splendid evening, and remember to just keep swimming. You got this. Have a great day.